Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard, and today we're talking about the best place to start with one of Marvel's most savage and beloved characters, Wolverine. With decades of comics under his belt, Logan can feel like an overwhelming character to dive into, but don't worry, I've put together the ultimate beginner's guide to Wolverine Comics to help you slice through the confusion and get straight to the best stories. So let's pop the claws and get started. So every beginner's journey has to start at the beginning. Wolverine first appeared in The Incredible Hulk number 180 and 181 back in 1974, created by Len Wein, Roy Thomas, and John Romita Sr. Now, technically, he popped up at the very end of issue 180, but issue 181 is where he truly makes his debut, facing off against the Hulk and the Wendigo. While the story itself is pretty straightforward, this is essential reading because it's the birth of Wolverine in the Marvel Universe. Plus, this issue has become one of the most iconic and valuable comics in history. So even if you can't own the original, there are plenty of reprints and digital editions to check out. Next up is the story that defined Wolverine for a generation. This is the Wolverine miniseries by Chris Claremont and Frank Miller from 1982. This is the comic where Logan steps out of the shadow of the X-Men and truly becomes his own character. This series takes him to Japan where he deals with honor, love, betrayal, and some of the most brutal battles of his life. This is the classic story where we really get the sense of Wolverine as a Ronin, a samurai without a master, and it forever changed how fans saw him. If you've ever wanted to know how Wolverine became the man with adamantium claws, we'll look no further than Weapon X for Marvel Comics Presents number 72 through 84. Written and illustrated by Barry Windsor Smith, this story is haunting, violent, and raw. It details the experiments that bonded adamantium to his skeleton, turning him into a living weapon. It's not an easy read. The imagery is brutal and the storytelling is chilling, but it's absolutely essential for anyone wanting to understand Logan's dark past. Of course, Wolverine isn't just a lone wolf. His rise to superstardom came through the X-Men, especially during Chris Claremont and John Byrne's legendary run in the late 70s and early 80s. Stories like Days of Future Past showed Wolverine as a cornerstone of the team, while arcs like the Dark Phoenix saga proved how important his presence was. But if we're talking shocking moments, one of the most unforgettable came in Fatal Attractions from 1993 when Magneto literally rips the adamantium out of Wolverine's body. It was one of the most jaw-dropping moments in 90s comics, and it changed Logan's status quo for years. So as we move into more modern stories, there are two must-reads for any Wolverine beginner. First, Enemy of the State by Mark Miller and John Romita Jr. In this storyline, Wolverine is captured and brainwashed by Hydra, becoming the deadliest assassin in the Marvel Universe. It's action-packed, brutal, and shows what happens when Logan is turned loose against his friends and allies. Then there's Old Man Logan by Mark Miller and Steve McNiven. Set in a dystopian future where villains have taken over, this story follows an older, broken Logan who swore never to pop out his claws again until he has to. It's one of the most popular Wolverine stories ever told and even inspired elements of the Logan film. Another key series to mention is Wolverine Origins by Daniel Way and Steve Dillon. This run dives deeper into Logan's past, exploring his family connections, his son Dakin, and the consequences of regaining his memories after the House of M. While not as iconic as some of the early works, it's an important piece of the puzzle for readers who want to know everything about Logan's complicated history. So, where should new readers start today? Honestly, Wolverine from 2020 by Benjamin Percy is a fantastic entry point. It ties into the current Krakoan era of the X-Men, giving Logan a balance of solo adventures and team responsibilities. If you want to jump into Wolverine right now without needing to read decades of backstory, this is the run for you. That said, I'd also recommend House of X, Powers of X by Jonathan Hickman, since it sets up the modern X-Men world and explains Wolverine's place in it. And if you're still hungry for more, check out Logan from 2008 by Brian K. Vaughan. It's a short but emotional miniseries. Or Wolverine and the X-Men by Jason Aaron, which is a fun character-driven series showing a different side of Logan as a leader and mentor. So there you have it, my ultimate beginner's guide to Wolverine comics. From his first battle against the Hulk to dystopian futures and modern Krakoan adventures, Wolverine's stories are as fierce and timeless as the character himself. But now, I want to hear from you. Which Wolverine story hooked you in? Was it Weapon X, Old Man Logan, or maybe his time with the X-Men? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more comic book breakdowns. Until next time, I am Chip Hazard. This is Movement Radio. Stay nerdy. Peace.